Welcome to Growing Pains and Gains, the podcast where five lifelong friends navigating life across three states, Nebraska, Kansas, and Texas, share their real, raw, and often hilarious takes on everything under the sun. Join us as we embrace the growing pains and celebrate the gains that comes with life's journey.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
How's it going?
Great.
Good.
Awesome.
Great. How was everybody's weekend? Holiday weekend. I feel like it's been a while since we all chatted it up.
Yeah. Well, so our listeners won't know, but we skipped the recording on Easter. And so it is officially a Tuesday that we are recording,
Yeah.
which is not usual for us. But no, it was a great weekend. The weather in Dallas was cloudy and rainy Sunday morning, but it cleared off and was beautiful in the afternoon.
That's how it was here too.
Yeah.
Saturday
Yeah, it was
gorgeous.
raining the whole day, the whole weekend. Here.
Was it cold or?
Well,
No,
I mean, if
I
you
mean,
consider
well, it was
65.
cold.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday
like-
morning, it was freezing at Anderson's baseball game or soccer game. Sorry.
Get 'em all
Soccer
straight.
game. Yes, it was so cold, and even Anderson was like, "Why is it still cold for my games? I thought it's almost summer." I'm like, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah, we wish. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Did you guys do anything? Or Chelsea, you went to your
Yes, we just drove a ton. So we went to my brother-in-law's in Topeka, and then we drove to the town where my grandma used to live, and all of my mom's family was there.
Oh,
And then we had a 3-hour drive home. So
I do
it
think
was
I know it's a lot of driving, but I think that's so special that you guys still all get together.
Yeah, it is. We just won't be doing that like marathon. Like if we're gonna do it, we're
That's
gonna
a lot.
go to my parents.
lot,
and
right.
then stay for more than one night. It was too much.
Mhm.
But think
But
like I
it
know
was
how
really
important
nice
it
to
was
see
your
like
your grandma. Like you guys always did that, didn't you? Like
Mhm. Yeah, it was really nice, and the kids Campbell goes, Morgan," which is my cousin's daughter that's Campbell's age or a little bit older, she goes, she said that they do this at Thanksgiving too," and I was like, "Yeah, they do."
Oh, she's ready to go back.
Oh, yeah, she
that's
wants to go back.
everything though. That really is.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I don't
fun.
remember the last time that we got together with my extended family. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, sadly, it's either weddings or funerals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
that's special. What about you, Alex?
We all went to my in-laws for Easter dinner on Sunday, and then my mom and Tom were invited. So that was fun, and the kids are always wild when they all get together. But since it was pouring rain, they couldn't do like an egg hunt outside.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
just did it like in the basement, and Sloan and Reese hid the eggs because they're older now,
yes.
and so they didn't really want to
Right.
look for them. So they hid them all for the younger kids, and then grandma gave the two older ones, Sloan and Reese, an egg with just money in it.
So fun.
And then Reese gave his egg away to the younger kids because he thought that
Aw.
they would like it. He's so sweet.
Oh my
Sweet.
God.
I know, like just on his own, like unprompted. And actually, one of the twins ended up getting it, and they like didn't even realize like what it was or that it was money. And because he had them,
Oh
he
my
said like
God.
pick a number between 1 and 20, and whoever
Oh,
was
I could see him
closest.
doing that.
Yeah. And so she, I think it was Palmer that got it. And so all the older kids like Anderson, Perry, like, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, were all
Yeah.
bummed that they didn't get it. And then the 4-year-old got it. But
I was
fun.
thinking
Oh,
today,
too
Alex,
funny.
how it's nice that your mom lives there now and you don't have to worry.
Mhm.
I know
I
that your brothers don't live
know.
there, but it's nice that you don't have to worry about that driving. I know
Oh
you
my
will,
gosh,
for some
yes.
holidays still probably, but
Yeah. I mean, but my brothers came down for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and every April we always have gone to Nebraska for my mom's birthday. And so we didn't have to this year. So
you're
it's
gonna
been
get to
nice.
enjoy
We're
Right?
not driving everywhere. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. It
So
was good.
fun. Catherine, your kids are at the most fun age for egg hunts and now the holidays.
Nova's a terrible egg hunter, so she just we were trying to help her, and she just kept wanting to stop and pop it open or, like, just shake it because we had jelly beans inside several of them.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Cinco has, like, 2 buckets, and he's
Oh, I
just
can
loading them
see
up
it.
with eggs. I mean, he's going and Gary was like, "We should have taken him to, like, a professional egg hunt," because he was loading them up so fast. And
Next
Nova
year
was
you'll
just
need to.
Yeah, I know, we're going to for sure, and Nova was just slow poking around and just popping the egg open.
Oh,
Audra, did
fun.
you do any egg hunting?
After we know you brunch.
No, I didn't do any egg hunting, but I did do my uncle Steve. We had dinner at his place on Saturday, and it was so nice because he made me my own little like spread.
Yeah, that
That's
was
so
so nice
nice.
of him.
I know, so thoughtful.
It was so nice. I absolutely love him.
No.
And then
With the
on
true Barnes.
he, that he is, and then on Sunday I had a nice little Easter brunch. So
Well, that's nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
It was fun.
it was actually a really nice day. So good. Can't complain.
Good. We
Thank
we're gonna do Easter. We stayed here for Easter just because it's getting to be Derek's busy season, and we were gonna do it or Sunday after church, but the weather was gonna be cruddy, so we moved it to Saturday, and it was an absolutely beautiful day. Not rainy, not windy. It was like in the high 60s, and we were able to be outside, and it was fun. But then Saturday or Sunday after church, it was rainy and cold, and so we just kind of bummed around, and it just so happened this weekend was the 30th year anniversary for the Oklahoma City bombing.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
crazy. When you
Crazy.
said that in the group
Yeah.
text, I mean, I can't believe that. It makes me realize how old we are. But I
I know.
remember
that.
being in Holy Name. And so I would have been in like first grade, maybe? Does that
We were
sound?
in second grade, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So if it would have been 8,
Yep.
I guess. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
and I
I
just
remember one of our. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I remember, Sister Janice, who was the principal, and we were all acting bad in church it was during school, and she was just yelling at us, and she was so frustrated, and she was like, "You guys have no idea, like, what's going on out here in the world, and you're just basically acting like privileged little brats," which I'm sure we were.
Yeah.
And she was upset because of what had just happened, and I didn't know, like, I don't know, in my mind, I was 8, obviously, so I
Well,
didn't really get
yeah,
it.
you
Yeah.
wouldn't.
You
And then
didn't know.
my mom picked us up from school, and I was like, "Sis, this happened." And she was like, "Yeah, no, this really happened." And she was trying to explain it to me so I could understand.
Yeah.
And the fact that I remember that, it's just those like, it was such a big moment. And at the time, I didn't realize how big it was, but I knew it was very significant, which is why I remember now, 30 years later, that moment.
Exactly. I
Mhm.
remember one of our paras at school running down the hallway, and like I don't know what she was running, but it was like the teachers were coming to each other's rooms, and they were all talking about it. And yeah, you don't realize how big or how much of it, like, it's history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My
Yeah.
son,
I remember they wheeled the TVs
TV.
into the
Yes.
cafeteria, and the teachers were in there watching it. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yeah, much
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
And that's why I was laughing. If you're wondering, Maria, I wasn't laughing while you were talking. I was laughing because in the chat, I said, "Chelsea, it's hard to hear you." And then she was hunting around like a scavenger trying to fix her
And
audio.
I kept looking at Catherine because I
I
knew
didn't
she was
see.
trying not to look at me laughing.
Like you're in church.
But no, Maria, that's a great point. And just talking about it now, it reminds me of 9/11. Like, that's one of those
Oh my
moments where you're
gosh.
always
Oh,
remember where
yeah.
you're at. I was in Coach Wall's class. We were freshmen in high school.
I was with you.
Mhm.
I was
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah,
It was
Yep.
sociology.
Me too.
yes, because it was the same class of nice shirt who shot the couch.
Coach McDonald came busting in.
But yeah, and it's just one of those moments that it's,
Yeah.
This
I
is,
don't know.
I'm gonna
I
go ahead and say we listen and we don't judge, but I didn't know what the World Trade Centers were, or like
Yeah.
how.
I mean, I don't know if
Well,
I
I don't
knew
think
in high
anyone did.
school.
Yeah.
I remember saying, guys, it's not as it's not like the Oklahoma City bombing, and they're like, it's big, like yes, it is
Oh,
big like that, yes, it is, and I had no idea. And then after the fact, it's like, oh yeah, this is like, I mean, not to compare, but I
yeah.
mean, it's a huge deal. It's a huge deal.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So on Netflix, they have a docuseries. It's called Oklahoma City Bombing: American Terror. And so um my son was like all about it, and he just could not believe that I was alive when that happened, and that I remember
Mhm.
where I was at, and he was like all into it, and all day like he was looking up about Timothy McVeigh and the federal building, and then the whole Waco, because it talks about what
Yeah.
happened in
The week was
Waco.
right around that time.
And he was so into it. And so it was, I don't want to say, I mean, it was enjoyable to get to watch that with him.
Yeah.
Audra, what's that scowl for?
Sorry, I was reading something.
No, I hate it when you guys put chats in there
Oh my
when
goodness.
we're recording. It's always
You guys,
distracting me.
for all of our listeners, we are trying to do it a little different and just have a conversation. And it's hard when we got our friends here making
Well, I'm
Alan.
sorry that Catherine let me know she couldn't hear me.
And I'm
Audra
sorry,
asked a
I
legit
can't feel
question.
my
She
face.
just spelled something wrong. And so I thought she was talking about something else. So that's why.
Okay. But yeah, so back to the Oklahoma City bombing. Yeah, 30 years ago. Crazy.
Yeah. Well, when you brought that up, then I was like, okay, we were in second grade. I was 8. And that's how old Anderson is. He's in second grade and he's 8. And like, I can't imagine like if that something like that were to happen now and like, oh my gosh, he would have 7
my
million
gosh.
questions. Like
Yeah.
he would want to know
Right.
everything. And I honestly don't remember anything about where I was when the Oklahoma City bombing happened, like completely different than 9/11. I remember everything about that, but I really don't remember anything. In second grade, I had Miss Cordray as my teacher, so I had to have been in her class, but they definitely, I don't feel like the school said anything. I don't think that, because I went to a different school, obviously, than you guys. And for our listeners that don't know that,
You guys
but
probably didn't have those really nice TVs that you could roll out.
I don't
You didn't
know.
go to a public
I just don't remember like
private.
hearing anything about it when I was in school. I do remember after school, I was with my mom, and I think we were going to her office at the college, and she was talking about it and telling me about it. And then once we got inside, people were talking about it and everything. But I just don't remember like in the moment where I was like 9/11 necessarily. But yeah, it makes me feel very old that it was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you guys haven't watched it, it's really good. It's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
And you see it in a different like
What's it called again?
the Oklahoma City bombing, American Terror.
What streaming service?
Netflix.
Okay. Perfect.
You know, when we were third grade, first grade, however old, you obviously don't know all the details or didn't take it all in. And so it was really emotional watching it because
Yeah. I need to watch it.
had some of the survivors, interviewing some of the survivors. And I won't say any names, but we actually know someone personally, and she lost her father in the bombing. And that was, I was telling my son about it. And so he had to get on Facebook and was looking her up, and all on her page, there was stuff about her dad. And went thinking back, and even in high school, when I realized like, oh, she lost her dad in the bombing, it still didn't.
Hit.
Right. Yeah. Didn't fit. And then it was like, oh my God, like it was really touching and emotional.
Yeah.
So now like that gets very interested in going to the memorial. So I think we'll do that sometime.
Yeah.
But
You should. I've been to it before and it was really good, but it's been a long time. But
yeah. But so you guys, this weekend we had a first. All 3 of the boys were to a basketball lock-in, and Derek and I had an impromptu date night, and
fun.
yeah, it was fun. Except for at first we didn't like really know what to do. Like, what are we gonna do? And like normally you would think, oh, let's go out to eat, but we didn't. We wanted like we have not just been able to come home and watch a show together. Like,
Yeah.
and so we started Ransom Canyon on Netflix. And if you guys have not,
I hadn't even heard of it until you mentioned it.
I know.
Catherine, did you try to watch it?
Oh my God, yes. Gary and I tried to watch it 2 nights ago, and I was like, this is so dumb. This sounds like just some knockoff love story on Netflix.
don't listen to her.
No, it reminded me of Virgin River when Tori, shout out to you, Tori, because I know you listen. Tori told me Virgin River was good. And I think I was on maternity leave with Cinco. And I was like, when does it get good? And I was on like episode 8. And she was like, oh my gosh, just keep watching. And she kept telling me, keep watching. And then the season was over. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is, and I watched about 10 minutes of it. And I told Gary, I was like, I'm going to sleep.
watching, and you were on episode 8. Oh
Yeah.
my
Did you
So-
watch
and that's it.
Yellowstone, Catherine?
Yes. And I liked Yellowstone. And I really liked.
Yellowstone is different.
So I liked Yellowstone and I liked Landman. And those are more action and like, sorry, excuse my language, Maria, but they're with the shit and they're ready to go blow some shit up. And then Maria has me watching this Ransom Canyon, and it's totally going to be another Virgin River love story of like Friday Night Lights mixed in type of scenario.
That's
And I
why
was
Derek
not
likes
like
that's why
like
Derek likes it. He loves
Friday Night Lights. And it is
Mhm.
definitely like Lila Garrity and going between the two guys, and that's what she's doing in this, but we really like it. And it's just fun because we now like have that, like, we won't watch it without the other one. So it's just
Yeah,
fun
that is fun to have
Yeah,
a show to
that's
watch
fun.
together.
to get that. But
no, it's fun until one of you watches it without the other, and then you feel that betrayal because I experienced that before.
Uh-oh, Gary.
Years ago, and we were watching Snowfall, which is a very different type of show. If any of the listeners have
and he
watched
couldn't
Snowfall,
wait for you.
and I go out there and Gary's in the living room and he's like 2 episodes ahead. I'm like, what happened? And he's like, oh. I was so irate. But it is so
That would
special,
be
Maria.
me.
And I know what you mean because that's like your thing that you do together.
Yes,
And
yeah.
we did that with Landman and actually with Yellowstone. And it's just fun to have that kind of moment. And even though you're not really talking, or you might like kind of elbow each other and
Right.
laugh at certain parts or connect, it's just that moment you have with just the two of you. And
Yes.
it's just,
Yes.
even if you're just sitting there and not
And
really
it's
talking,
something
it's
to
just
look forward to. And
Totally.
yeah. And I will say, like, my boys are older than than all your kids. So when they were little, we could do that because they would go to bed earlier than us, or we weren't always on the go. And now I feel like they're up until we go to bed, usually, especially our oldest. He's
Yeah.
and not that like he could totally watch the shows with us, but or we're always gone between their activities and practices, and then when we get
Yeah.
home, it's just like we hurry and get the
For
kids ready for bed, and we go to bed. So it's kind of fun to have that.
So have you
little-
still been watching it since your date night?
Yes, we have. Yeah, we watched it some on Sunday. Yeah, and in case y'all are wondering, Cassidy called at 11 to come home, and Jagger called at 1.
Jagger.
And Maria used to call every time we had a sleepover.
Okay,
too.
but hold on. So
So-
you said that, Chelsea, in the group text to fill Alex in. So as we've said, Alex didn't come, but we didn't all really mesh together until like 7th grade. Well, kind of 6th grade when Maria and I were invited to her birthday party, which she doesn't remember. But so Maria would never stay at slumber parties. But Chelsea, we failed to mention about Audra never going to slumber parties, and we used to, Maria, Chelsea, and I used to go to Audra's friends' slumber parties to try to encourage her to
so
stay.
that
and
Audra could stay on the
I-
line.
and we were 2 years older, so we would be like 5th graders going to the 3rd grade
Oh,
slumber
that's
party.
Who's
Gary Lee
No,
Oh,
it was
yes, I forgot.
and Olivia's. We would, and,
yeah, Olivia.
and Audra would always leave, and we'd still just be there hanging out.
I think Audra stayed at Olivia's.
Gosh. Yeah, we stayed at Olivia's before.
But
Yeah,
did Audra?
That's so funny.
I think Audra stayed that time.
Oh my gosh.
Audra,
I'm
do you
glad you guys
remember?
had a good
I don't remember that. Well, I do remember you guys coming and trying to get me to stay, but I was like, I'm leaving.
She was always leaving so fast. It's like that sun would, the sun would barely be going down in the sky, and she'd be calling David.
But that's how Audra was too. Like when we'd go out to Caesar's, she would always have to leave when it like at like 9. If we
Yeah.
she'd be there for 20 minutes having the time of her life and then be done.
And
Like,
Caesar's was
Audra-
like a dance hall bar in Coffeyville. It's not like a person's house that you would
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
okay, can we talk about my favorite Caesar story? We used to have so much fun at Caesar's. That was like the time of our lives. And I see Audra one time getting kicked out, and she's like, I was like, Audra, what's happening? And they're like escorting her out. And she was like, I was just making some popcorn because they got this little homemade popcorn making machine. And,
And we
looked
were not
so
supposed to be
flustered.
making popcorn.
No, she
Oh.
just took it upon herself.
Well, and she was probably 19. I mean, that might have had something to do with it. It was 21
Probably
and up.
so. My favorite story was when Derek and Maria were there, and Derek decided to leave early because they got into a little bit of an argument. and we had to go find Derek. Derek was just walking the streets of Coffeyville.
Oh God.
That would not be my favorite story, and I'm glad I don't remember it.
That was
Yeah.
because he was just walking. He was just walking around trying to find his way back home.
Oh goodness.
Hey,
Okay,
while
so
we're
back to the
talking about
sleepover.
shows. Oh,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. Go ahead. Well, I was just gonna say, Maria, you said that Cassidy called 11 and Jagger called it 1, but I feel like you should remind the listeners how old they are to
Yes,
make that point.
Cassie will be 11 on Thursday, and Jagger is 6.
So the
Found
Right.
and determined that he was going to stay. So Derek
Oh.
had gone and done the first pickup. He picked up Cassidy, and
Did
then
you try to get Jagger to leave then?
yes, and I kept and Jagger, nope, he was going to stay, and
Mm.
I couldn't go to sleep because I was just like so worried about Jagger.
yeah.
And I didn't want him to stay to begin with, but he was bound and determined he was going to stay. And so then when the basketball coach called and I knew Jagger was ready, I was like secretly so pumped.
Yeah,
Aw.
because then you could go to sleep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I went to go pick him up and he gets in the car and he goes, "Ah, this is so embarrassing."
Oh.
Oh, did you say, well, your brother called
You
2 hours ago. You
did.
made it longer than him.
So- and some of his other buddies just had went home too. But I'm like, oh my gosh, the high school boys,
That's
of course,
funny.
love it. I felt so bad for the coaches though. Like, gosh.
I'm sure they were expecting to get no sleep. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're up all night and it's a great fundraiser. For each kid it's like $25 and then the kids they do a free throw a thon.
oh gosh, that's a tongue
They like
twister.
have to raise money, like people donate for each of their
Oh, for each
So where does
basket.
the money
they
go
make?
to? Like to the basketball team, or do they do it for
Basketball team,
charity?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like fundraising for their season for their little league. Okay.
Yep. Or for the high school basketball team. It's all the high school. So it's their team, but yeah. high school team.
Okay.
So
Got
it's
it.
always like a big deal. Like they get to be with the big boys. But speaking of free throw-a-thon, I have to call myself out for a moment. So you guys know I don't know a stranger. And I always like put my own foot in my mouth and like look completely illiterate sometimes.
Oh
And
God, what'd you do?
we were
Yeah.
at it was after a basketball game. We were at my nephew's basketball game and he would have been a freshman and the kid would have been a senior and he played for him or played on the same team. And he had really good, I think it was 3-point. He was a really good 3-point shooter.
Okay.
Like won some award and I went up and congratulated him for the 3 froze.
Oh.
Really?
Oh my god.
What did he
Oh.
say?
So he started laughing and said, "Thank you," but oh my gosh, I got my yeah, it was so I hurried up and called my sister and I'm like, I just totally embarrassed your son
All the boys.
and by saying congratulations on your free throws. I mean, 3
3 pros.
throws. 3 throws. Yeah.
That's funny.
But
Well, I'm glad they had fun.
yeah, they did have fun.
So speaking of watching stuff together, on Sunday night when we were driving home, Luke was like, "Oh yeah, WrestleMania is on tonight," and I was like,
Stop.
Oh gosh.
cool." And so
Ugh.
on Peacock, I don't know anything about wrestling, just that my brother used to watch it like growing up. Well, Lucas turned on Audra.
Don't even.
Audra's really, this is near and dear to her heart. But so he turned on WrestleMania and like I could hear him out in the living room talking about it. And I went and sat on the couch and started watching.
Who was
it.
he talking
And
to?
when Campbell.
Okay.
Or no, Pruitt. Him and Pruitt were watching it. And then Logan Paul came out. And
Don't know
we
who
were
that is.
He's a YouTuber that tried to turn like boxer wrestler.
Well,
Oh.
Jake's the one
Jake
that
Paul.
fought.
You know Jake
Jake
Paul,
Paul,
Logan
okay.
Paul, they're brothers.
Jake
Okay.
Paul
I've heard
fought-
of them. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Jake Paul's the one that did the MMA fight or whatever, the boxing. But Logan
Mhm.
Paul's his brother. And he was wrestling, and that is hilarious. Like the things
WrestleMania?
they do. Yes.
Chelsea.
No,
I am
you
so
guys.
disgusted.
No, they used to have those events in Coffeyville, Chelsea.
Coffeyville.
Remember? And I used to
You
live
went
for
to
those.
one.
Yes, I went to all of them.
Where
Yeah,
were they
National
at in
Guard.
Coffeyville?
The National
It
Guard,
is
and I
National
used to live for those events, and I would get so excited, and my
Yeah.
sister had
You
to
lived
take me. Yes.
You
I
guys,
did not
it
know
is
they even
so
happened.
freaking funny and
We
so
went
fake
with-
and so hilarious.
Oh my
And Campbell came out and we were laughing so hard. And then we got kind of hooked on it. And Campbell was laying in bed with me for the big show with John Cena and the last one, the main event. But
Oh
then we
my
had to
God.
pause it because we were tired and we wanted to see who was going to win. And yesterday when I got home from my doctor's
You couldn't
appointment, I told
wait.
Lucas, I
You
said, don't
unpaused
tell
it?
me. Yeah, I paused it so I could watch it. I said, don't tell me who won.
Stop.
Oh
Well,
my
but
God.
better not
I'm
tell.
so
better
embarrassed
not ask
for you.
Campbell. And Pruitt goes, John Cena won. And so I was so mad at him.
Oh.
But
Doesn't
you guys,
Schultz like
about the house?
WrestleMania too? I feel like he
Schultz?
does, Maria.
Oh,
Does
probably.
Schultz, I'm
You
pretty sure
guys-
he does.
gotta watch it. It's
I
so
will
fun.
not watch
No.
it.
Oh, and
No.
then Lucas had the audacity to, while Campbell and I were laying in bed watching it, say, oh my gosh, you guys are going to be wrestling dorks. Those are the worst kind of dorks. And I'm like, you're the one who turned it on for us. And it doesn't, like, I don't know anything about it or like,
Kelsey's gonna be John Cena's groupie, her and Campbell.
Yes.
no, girl, he's retiring, okay?
Oh,
I was gonna
is.
say, isn't he like
Yeah.
60?
I don't know. But
Now I'm gonna
guys,
Yeah. When is he retiring?
in 2025, I don't know if that was his last one or not, but if
Oh,
you
maybe you
catch
saw his last
one,
He's
one.
48.
do it. He had like Jake
So I-
Paul picked up one guy with his crotch in his face and then he like slammed him over. They like literally did like a complete flip and slammed onto the ground.
Nothing about that
It was
sounds
good.
entertaining.
It was hilarious.
Oh, well, I'm so
and
glad
Audra
that
probably
you
could
had
give us the
found
backstory
something
when
the
she
whole
used to have
family
to watch.
likes.
Audrey used to have to watch Monday Night Raw.
You did?
Probably.
Audra,
Her
did you?
ex-boyfriend
Football.
was a big
Oh, I think I remember this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday night football and the Monday night Raw. Monday night what?
Oh,
Monday Night Raw. Yes, I used to have to watch it, and I hated it.
Wait, what do you mean you had to?
Well, I didn't have to. but I
Ex-boyfriend
wanted
really
to.
loved it.
Oh,
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, or
I
sometimes
can't-
I was asked to leave so you could watch it in private.
Alex looks so appalled just now. That just made my day.
Oh, guys.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so if you don't want to watch Canyon River or whatever that show's called, then
Ransom
watch.
Canyon.
Ransom
or Virgin
Canyon.
River.
Well, okay, I have one, and then we can stop talking about the shows. But same thing. Jordan and I had a day date on Friday because I was off work, and he had a work trip. He got home at like 1 a.m. He didn't have to work the next day, and we also like never get to just watch shows. And so instead of going out and doing anything, we decided to just start a series and binge watch. Which this is why I never watch anything, because now we're freaking
Can't stop.
obsessed, and there's
Yeah.
4 seasons. And the last
Oh.
like 3 nights we've been going to bed at midnight. Like, what are we, 20? I don't
Okay,
understand.
but you didn't tell us what it was.
It's
Well,
called
she's-
Succession.
This is the build-up. Succession
it's
sucks
called
too. I
Succession.
could not
No,
get
it
into
was.
that.
I feel like it's something you would like. It has.
I
crime,
know,
it
and
has
I've
drugs,
tried to
has-
watch it 3 times. Maybe I just need to keep watching. But if it gets to episode 8, like Tori told
You're
me, and you're
done.
still saying
No.
just keep watching.
Well, there's
I'm
10
done.
episodes in the first season, and we got through all 10. And there was a
I've
good
had
little twist on the end.
2 of my friends who have similar interests like us, and tell me it's like their favorite
Yeah,
show.
I feel
And
like
so
it's
I
right
don't
up your
know why I
alley.
can't
What
get
is
into
it?
it. Succession.
So
I would like it.
Succession. It's on Max. It's about like a media mogul. It's as if he like ran, I don't know, like ABC or
Yeah.
Isn't it
you know.
based off of that one family? Like,
I think Jordan told me it's based off of something, but some like a but I don't know who it is. I think it might be even like a Fox News family. I don't know. Anyway, it's like the CEO, like the founder of this company. He's kind of getting to retirement age, and he has 4 kids, and it's basically kind of all about who's going to take over. There's all this different like corruption and different shady things going on to try and like get the business and all this stuff. But it's pretty good. And so we watched like 4 episodes on Friday during the day. And then we had plans Friday night. We had plans Saturday night. So we watched it Sunday night, Monday night. and literally went to bed after midnight, and we're normally in bed by like 9:30. So it's like
my.
very late for us.
Are you almost done?
We're
just
done with the
realized
first
we have the same
season, but
shirt
there's
on.
4 seasons.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh.
It's a really popular show. It's on HBO. It's on
It's on Max.
Max. Okay.
Mhm.
But a lot of people really like it. And
Yeah.
so I've tried to watch it, but I've tried to watch episode 1 like 4 different times over the last 2 years.
We'll just skip
So
through the first one.
maybe go
and-
to just skip to
yeah.
episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think you'd like it if you keep
So
going. But
speaking of
I
day
have one
dates,
show.
oh, give it
Okay.
to us, Audra.
It's called Righteous Gemstones. It's
Oh, that one's good.
What's it
Catherine
on?
would hate it.
good.
Don't even
Oh.
try it, Catherine.
Thank
Don't hate
you,
it, don't hate it,
Chelsea.
but it is so funny. I
It is funny.
absolutely love it.
What's
It's,
it on?
it's good. Max.
Righteous
It's on Max
Gemstones.
too.
They
There's-
just make fun of mega churches, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it's kind of like I've only watched a little bit of like the first season, but it kind of is like a kind of a crime.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
going
I
to
don't
go
have
with not
time because I
watching
got
it.
3 more seasons of Succession to watch, but I'll check it out after that. But
I
there
feel
are
like-
actually several funny parts in Succession too. Like it's like satire type comedy, but like every single episode
Yeah.
we're always laughing about something. So
Really.
check it out. Mm-hmm.
I feel
Yep.
like anytime there's like a show or a book, like Chelsea knows me better than anybody else when it comes to those types of things. She'll tell me like right away, like, no, you would hate it. Like,
No, you
don't.
would
And,
hate it.
and I
Yeah.
don't try
Anything
Catherine's
like funny, lighthearted
Yeah.
No,
comedy,
and I just
love
told
stories.
Gary knows how I feel about this. I hate comedians. Like, I don't want
I was gonna say Catherine.
I cannot say
Catherine-
I don't want anybody who's gonna don't try to make me laugh. Like make me laugh just because it's funny, but don't stand up there on a stage and try to tell jokes and make me laugh. Like there's nothing funny about that to me.
Oh my
But-
gosh, you're such a hater.
I know.
Don't go watching WrestleMania.
Yeah.
You won't. Don't
No,
worry.
But I will lay in bed with our group text and like die laughing and literally laugh all day for the next week about something that one of you guys said. You know, I like that
Yeah.
type of laughter. Or even like, and I'm not big into comedies like movies, but like Super Bad was one that like that one really got me. I laughed a
Oh.
lot at Super Bad. There's just something about people trying to make me laugh that I don't find funny. Like I like the
Yeah.
more just the back and forth and somebody slips something in unexpected that makes me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to. I feel like maybe when I go to a comedian, I might just be laughing because I'm supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
Not because I find it funny. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. No.
Not a fan.
totally.
I was going to say about day dates. So,
Oh,
ooh la
yeah, tell us
la.
about-
I had a day date today. So,
Ooh.
I've mentioned this before. Shut up, Audra, like you didn't already know. So, we don't do a lot of dates, just the two of us, or we take our kids everywhere with us. But today was Gary's birthday, and I had PTO. We both took off
With a
work
different
yesterday and
story.
today. Yes. And so they were at school, and we went on a day date to the movies. And I highly do not recommend going to see the movie that we saw, but we went to Studio Movie Grill. Off of 75 and Royal in Dallas, which is right by where we used to live. And it was like within walking distance. And we used to go there all the time. And we sat in our same 2 seats, back row to the left, all the way down. And it was so much fun. And we had a really good time, even though we weren't really a fan of the movie. We had a great time together. And
Oh,
we
Could
did
you eat
good.
there?
what?
You could eat there since it's a movie and grill.
Yeah. I had some Southwest egg rolls, and Gary had chicken and waffles.
Oh,
Mm.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna start trying to do that more often and just plan day dates because we don't like leaving
Yeah.
our kids at home.
Mhm.
So, but while they're at
And they can
school-
even go to school Saturday mornings though sometimes, right?
Yeah, once a month they have that. But we don't we've been trying not to have them do that if they don't have to.
Yeah.
Like makeup hours just because it's like
Makeup.
Saturdays. Yeah.
Yeah. But if they have to, then you might as well
Yeah,
take advantage and have a little date.
for sure. But of course, like during the movies, and I had on my watch, I had my phone in my pocket, but I had on my Apple Watch. And of course their school calls me during the movie. And I had to leave.
No.
But it was just their lead teacher just giving me an update. Bless her heart, she didn't know we were at the movies, but Nova had been sick, and so she was just like updating me, giving me progress that she was doing fine, and just like
good.
And she said that Cinco woke up and he had told them like I'm sick, but I think he's totally fine. I think he was just tired and not really feeling it, and was just trying.
And
to
he
tell them.
knows Nova had been sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, because when she
And
was
he
sick,
knew that
said,
she
"No,
got to go
I'm sick."
home.
Yeah.
when she said that.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say he's probably getting at the age now because I feel like Jack or Beckett was about 3 when he realized, like, oh, if he's sick,
Yes.
then he can come home.
Yes. And that's
Oh,
what,
that's
because
funny.
yesterday when I picked him up from school and he said, no, 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 oh no, and pointed at Nova's car seat because he thought we were leaving her there at school because their school is big, so they have different classrooms. And I was like, no, she's already at home. Because I
No.
had to pick her up because she had
Yeah.
gotten sick earlier the day. Yeah, anyway. So,
Oh,
yes.
funny.
But I'm like rushing out of the movies and I'm like, oh my God.
Oh gosh,
Totally
she threw up
fine.
again.
Yeah.
I
But she
wonder why she did throw up again, though.
So I think here's what I think. She had thrown up Friday morning and she really was sick. And she wasn't feeling well and you could tell. But like
She's not
Saturday
all
and
that.
Sunday, I mean, she was doing great and she was just having fun and doing great. But she gets really car sick, just like her mama. And so I'm thinking she had drank some milk Monday morning. It was her first time getting in the car all weekend. And I think she
Yeah.
probably had a weak stomach. You know how after you're sick,
Yeah.
like your
Yeah.
stomach bug and you've been vomiting a lot? And so
Mhm.
I'm thinking maybe putting her in the car and she just probably had because she was completely fine. So then Gary went right back and got her at like 8:30 in the morning on Monday. And she was
Yeah.
fine the whole day. So I'm thinking it was just maybe a little nauseous from the car ride. And that's what did it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad she got to go back today and you got to have a fun date.
Yeah,
Me
so
too.
speaking of dates,
Yeah.
we've got some
Oh, yeah.
fun for you listeners coming up in the next couple months.
Yeah, we do.
Speaking of dates.
Putting Audra to work, guys.
Let's take you on a ride with Audra and her daters.
Audra's dating
Yeah.
corner. Audra's daters.
Yes.
We're gonna introduce a new segment called Audra's Dating Corner.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have anybody in the Houston area that you'd like to set our girl up with?
Yes.
Let us know.
But you have to contact me. This is Catherine. I am her dating agent if we're just setting up blind dates because I'm screening everybody. But if you do have any
Right.
recommendations, hit me up on Instagram.
You
and I'll
can
screen
message
them.
JPEG, the podcast.
Yeah,
on Instagram.
GPAG_ the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll keep you all when we come back after.
Why are we coming back, Maria?
Right.
Yes,
You gotta
Maria,
tell
please.
them.
Get a little head. We are going to actually take a summer break. We're all so busy and trying to find a time that works for all of us to actually get on and have our recordings and then do the what am I trying to say, girls? Help me out.
The reels?
What Maria's trying to say is that she is
editing.
a hardcore baseball mom and she has baseball weekends going on all summer long. And it's just everybody has a busy summer schedule with their kids. Things are different. And so we're just going to take a little break.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, Audra, you are going to be busy on the weekends. You're going to have dates.
because you're gonna be dating.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
We're gonna be
while
taking
we
a
take a break,
Audra's gonna be going to work.
Yes.
So this is going to be our last episode before the break, but we're going to come back and we're going to have a new format filled with lots of fun and highlighting Audra's dating corner, which is going to be the highlight of
Guys
my
will
week
not
every week.
Want to miss.
So
Talk
this
about-
is the wrap of our season 1, and then we'll come back with season 2
After
and
the
like
4th of
Catherine
July.
said- Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Audra will
Sometime
probably
in
be
July.
engaged at that point.
And Audra
Yes.
might be engaged. We don't know.
We'll give you the updates, play by play. So everyone stay tuned. And then in the meantime, if anyone has any suggestions or feedback or thoughts or anything you'd like to hear more from us, please let us know. We'd love to hear what you want. That's what we're here for. So just
Can I tell
message
one
us on
story real
Instagram.
fast?
Of course.
Yes. Okay, this is a good one. So, one of my very favorite stories is when Audra was going on a date. I don't know if you met him online or where you met him, but you were going to Bartlesville to go on a date, and your mom goes, "Oh, Audra, whatever you do, do not give him your social security number."
Yes, and that advice has stuck with me for this long.
Thank God.
To this day, she's never
That
given
is
it out.
solid advice.
Yeah, it was solid advice. Very solid. But also, I also wonder if that's the reason why I haven't found anyone yet.
Maybe you just need to start
Send
giving
your
out
social security number.
So funny.
Oh, you guys, you will not want to miss Audra's dating.
Dating corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gone on a few, and Audra, didn't you go on one and he smiled and he didn't have a tooth?
Yes, yes.
Oh.
It was really sad. More sad for me, but
Yeah.
Dinner, and he smiled and was missing his front tooth.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Wow.
bless his heart.
Well, we can't wait
No,
to hear all the
bless
stories.
my heart. Bless my heart.
Oh, Audra.
Oh, Audra.
Yeah, so you guys will not want to
Yes.
miss it because whatever could go wrong on a date. it's always with
Stop,
Audra.
Marina.
No, but
why I
the
said.
times
Hey,
have changed.
Times have changed
And-
because this is a new and improved Audra, and this is her year,
Yes.
2025. So that's
Right.
why we
This
say
is
you
your
might
year.
be engaged by
No.
July.
No, but I'm here for the good stories. That's why I said today that she's gonna find the right Mr. Right the very first date, and then we won't have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes. Possibly.
So-
Yes, I got a
Well,
new
if that's
job.
the case, then we'll bring you all to her wedding.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
Facebook Live.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, we will be back middle of July, and like we said, a new platform or not platform.
A new
We're just going to
format.
kind of revamp
New
things.
format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like Alex said, we want all your feedback. So we're going to keep our Instagram page going so you guys don't get bored. We're going to come with some hot new reels that Maria's going to be working on. So we're going to keep that going. And we can't wait to come back in July. And please send us a DM, comment on our post if you have any ideas, anything you'd like to see, any date suggestions for Audra. Like I said,
Yeah.
daters will be thoroughly vetted. But if you have
She
any
is willing to
recommendations-
travel for dates.
Yes. As long as costs are covered.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'll
On your
drop the
dime.
contract. Again, I'm screening everybody. But send us your DMs.
Yes. Everyone have a great summer. We can't wait to, I guess I was going to say see you again soon, but we don't see you. So we can't
Okay,
wait
so
to-
let me go out with thank you for joining us for the podcast you didn't know you needed. Now you know, so we hope you'll join us again in July.
Woo.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.